Hello everyone, this is Juan Sarmiento and today is Friday, May the 13th. The markets are bouncing today, rather strongly. Let's take a look at the SPY here. Let's take a daily chart. And I had my circle here indicating a possible location for the rebound. And yeah, it violated that circle and it's now bouncy. So I have to believe that this is for real. It's a bounce after a big decline here, and so now we have to look at the upper level. You might want to put the Ichimoku cloud. That is helpful too, to indicate what the market might do in the future. Let's say let's studies Ichimoku. Double click on that and okay. And there's the Ichimoku cloud. So that's a lot of resistance there. And not only the trend analysis, but now we have this red line, which is resistance. And the stock may, or the market may go there and then come back down. That's pretty much the story with the NASDAQ and the Dow futures as well. This is a NASDAQ. Let's put a chart of 1 day. Same thing, the market might go test there. Look at how my channel was nicely tested and bounced from that. Okay, he violated it a little bit, but we are not too sensitive about the exact point of return. But that looks like a big, first of all, this is a candlestick that looks like doji, or whatever you call it. It's a long-legged doji or whatever. It's a body that is small versus the long legs. Okay, and then you have this big green body which is bullish, which overtakes the previous doji or whatever candlestick pattern. And so we may go all the way to the top, or we might fail not to go there. But imagine that this Ichimoku cloud is a lot of resistance there. Okay, and considering that the interest rates are going to go progressively higher, that it makes sense that you would have a little bit of a rally and then a decline again. Okay, a correction rally. All right, so let's look at our positions. You would think that there's a lot of assignments since the market declined so strongly that some of my short puts may have been assigned. And when you are assigned short puts, you end up with positive shares, and you can keep a lot of those in your account, provided that you have margin available to you. Let's examine each one of our trades here and see what we need to correct. So analyze this, and we have first Adobe. We have the July. We have a 400 put, so I lowered that religiously in order to neutralize my delta. That was obviously a good move. And now we have 100 shares. Now the problem is 100 shares is 460 times 100. That's $46,000, and that is putting too much pressure on my account. So I'm going to sell this, but at the same time, I want to perhaps close my long put, my 460 put, because I had a 460 short put and I have my 460 long put, and that's precisely to enable me to close that portion. And so I choose both, and I say analyze closing. I select everything, analyze closing, and you would see that it says covered. And you need to make sure that since you have several options here, you want to close the 460 put that expires in July, and here it is. Okay, and it's 410. That means you have $10 of credit, because 460 should have been 460, okay? So you're getting a little money on top. And this will neutralize, notice the deltas is 20. So doing this will neutralize my delta, make them negative again. But I want to, this bounce favor me because I had those long shares. So now I want to close that, confirm and send, because I'm getting quite a bit of credit, about $1,000 for those puts, long-term puts. We'll see if they fill before we continue on. Let's move on to before we finish today. If not, we'll deal with it. Okay, now we have Costco here, and Costco is negative, and we have made plenty of money on this, but it's time to neutralize this again. We have 510 puts, and we can definitely lower this one. Analyze rolling by lowering the puts further down to 490. We will neutralize this position. July. Okay, so I'm selling the 410 put here, that is a long put, and I'm buying the 490, which is more in accordance to what the current price is, and doing that reduces my deltas, okay, from 43 to 32. So it's still bearish. It's still a bearish position. And for that, there it is. Okay, so it got filled, and now think about it. This put may be assigned. This June 10 put might be assigned because it's so far in the money. It's more than 100 points in the money. If that happens, then you simply sell your shares, or you might even consider keeping your shares if you're interested in the stock. Okay, but for now I'm going to leave it like this. If the market continues to decline, I will make additional money. If it rallies strongly, then so much the better. You can, let's see, lower this put. No, the puts cannot be lowered. They're matched 600s, and we have this put already lowered, so everything else is bullish. This call at 660, 600, and you can close that, or simply wait for expiration on that one. I think I'm going to leave it like this. If the market rallies very strongly, it may be that Costco will be, and that was my Adobe position. Let's check Adobe now. Adobe is more neutral, but it's still bearish. Okay, Costco is not so neutral, but it's still delta negative. And I'm thinking of a way to make this a little more neutral, and I just thought of a way. We can sell puts at a lower strike price. Analyze closing, sell. Okay, so if I sell the 485 right there, that gives me 20, no, I'm sorry, yes, it's 485, $21 for that. So that neutralizes my position, makes it actually a little positive. Do I feel that bullish on that? No, I don't. I don't feel bullish. This is a weekly chart. Let's put a daily chart. Yeah, I'm not bullish yet, but this is something we could do, okay? At some point, we could sell this put, and that would neutralize my position. My deltas will be, and of course, at $21, that's not cheap. I would be selling very expensive. Let's leave it like this. I think that it looks like this might be just a temporary bounce. As you see, the stochastic is not crossing my 20 level here, so it's still bearish. Earnings are coming, so anyway, we'll see that later. Let's look at Nike. Analyze that. Same thing, we have a very neutral position, but still delta there. Okay, so we have this 135 call that's going to expire today. Okay, so guess what? We can sell, if it's worth it, June calls. Let me just demonstrate. We are going to go to sell June 10, 35 calls that you would get only 6 cents for that. I don't think it's worth it. But you can say, you can tell that this call is going to expire. Okay, excuse me. Let me put a stop here for a minute. Okay, so let's. I thought of a way to reduce these deltas. We have the puts. We have 4 puts here, so we can sell one. We can sell one of them. Just one. And that will be for a profit, obviously. And that neutral, no, that makes my delta still pretty big, but I can roll it down to 110. We can roll this one to 110. Analyze rolling. We can start with that. Same. Okay, so I'm going to buy the lower strike price at 110. And doing that, you can see that it reduces, it keeps the deltas, it lowers my deltas, I mean, increases it in a sense from minus 49 to minus 38. And that's not a bad idea, okay? And then we're going to do the same with this 35. It's not allowing me to do that. Let me see why. $110 put. Okay, so I was going this one lower. It doesn't allow me to do it. We can come back to it. Well, we do have plenty of cash now that we got rid of that Adobe, but it's not allowing me because I just cashed on that. I would have to wait until tomorrow, I think. Okay, what if I did this? Sold the 135 put and buy it at a lower strike price. And that would certainly neutralize my deltas, wouldn't it? Your buying power designated to make this trade was created from the liquidation of an overnight position. So I can't really do that, can I? That's because the capital I got was from the Adobe trade. The Adobe trade. Okay, let's do the Oracle and then come back to Nike, because Oracle, you would see that I have a lot of shares here as well. And so what we would do is, yes, let's say analyze, close. Let's select everything and I say analyze closing, and we're going to close the covered put, and you can see that I'm selling this put here, 6 of them, leave 4. Okay, we can do that, confirm and send, and recover, get rid of those shares. If you want to keep the shares, that's not a bad idea. Okay, that's not a bad idea, provided that you protect yourself with the puts. Okay, it still looks very negative, so I'm going to sell some puts, same expiration as this calls here in June. So how about we sold not 6, but let's say 2, since we have 4 puts, 4 long puts, we're going to sell for June 20th 80 puts, and then that gives me too much. Let's sell just one put, and that gives me closer to neutrality. Okay, confirm and send. It doesn't want to allow me, so we'll leave it like this, and I'm coming back on Monday and have those fixed, because it doesn't allow me to use overnight money, and you have to have a special kind of account to do that. Let's go to the account statement, and here to examine what do we have so far this year. $8,800 profits, and we have our net liquid value is $100,800, almost $101,000 in the account. Remember, we started this account with $50,000, so we are more than doubling our money. Okay, I'm gonna quit here. The positions were filled, and all I have to do is modify the Nike and the Oracle account trades. The Nike is here slightly is negative, or delta negative. I can't adjust it. I should have been able to by doing roll downs, but it doesn't want to allow me. And you would, I guess you would call your broker and say, hey, I have the protected capital there. All I need is to sell some puts here or something. Okay, let's do that. Let's see if I can do that. If I try to sell a put here, it wouldn't allow me to, which is funny. It should not be so difficult to sell a put. I have 4 long puts, and it doesn't allow me to sell one. How about if I sell the July then? Sell one July, because I need to neutralize my deltas a little bit. If I sold 2, I don't want to do that, because then it makes it too positive, delta positive. Let's just sell one, okay? I just want to reduce the risk while I'm not watching. Obviously that it allowed me to do because I own that position. And there it is now. My delta is more, 34 is not overwhelmingly big. That's for Oracle. And for Nike, we can we close one of the long puts? We have the 115 put. Okay, let's close one of these. And that's a way to take my profits anyway. Neutralizing, it means we're taking profits. And then that makes it delta positive, which I didn't want to do, but it's going to have to do. The market seems like it's going to bounce for a little while. Hopefully the deltas will decline, and then we can enter new positions. The Vegas, that is, the volatility. Yeah, I think this is a strong bounce here today, and is what's exactly what I expected it, which is at the bottom of my channel. I have to believe that we are going to go to the Ichimoku again, and then perhaps then we will have another decline. If it breaks above the Ichimoku cloud, then the story changes. But for now, we're bearish, and we're thinking of a bounce to the upper side of this channel. That's all for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.